Good afternoon and welcome to CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv's continuing coverage of the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Division I Baseball Championships. I'm Jeff Kurtz along with our cameraman today, Timothy King, ready to bring you all the action here from Klein Family Field at the University of the Pacific. Here in Stockton, California, we are almost ready for Game 2 between the St. Mary's Rams and the Franklin Wildcats. Franklin representing the northern part of the Sac-Joaquin section, and St. Mary's representing the southern part of the Sac-Joaquin section. St. Mary's, the defending Division I champion, a two-time defending champion, having been here 5 of the last 6 years, led by head coach Peter Pyle. Franklin, in their first appearance in this championship series, led by head coach Brian Kilby. It is 1-0 in this championship. Best 2 out of 3. St. Mary's winning yesterday in a tight game, 4-2. That they broke open in the 5th inning with a couple of runs, but limited hitting, good pitching yesterday. And we've got 2 aces going on the mound for both of these teams here today. Players being introduced out on the field. Let's get you the lineups. First for St. Mary's, who will be the visiting team today after the home team yesterday. They switch. St. Mary's getting the home field advantage yesterday. And if there is a Game 3, Franklin having to win this Game 2 to force a Game 3. If there is a Game 3, then that will be played about 30 minutes after this one completes. We will have that for you as well. And the home team will be determined by a coin flip. Starting lineup today for St. Mary's, Kyle Cortopassi will lead off. Playing shortstop, Charlie Gaff, the center fielder, bats second. Joey Cafesi, the left fielder, batting third. J.J. Wagner, the third baseman, batting fourth for the Rams. Gio Barusa playing right field, batting fifth. Eric Weber catching, batting sixth. Jeremy Farnsworth will DH today for the pitcher Sam Held for St. Mary's. He's batting seventh. C.J. Owens, the first baseman, bats eighth. Spencer Fairduhn, the second baseman, batting ninth. Meanwhile, for Franklin, Hank LaForte, shortstop. Ryan Sargentson batting second at third. Josh Pig pitching, batting third. Tyler Blake, the first baseman, bats fourth. Kyle Zanzi, the right fielder, bats fifth. Kyle Von Ruden, the second baseman, bats sixth. Connor Adams will DH for the left fielder, David Berry. He's batting seventh. Nick Fry, the catcher, bats eighth. And Taylor Waters is the center fielder. He is batting ninth. We're going to take a final break here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv and then be back with the national anthem in just a moment. After the national anthem, we'll come back with the first pitch here in this Division I championship game. Back with more after this.
3:16 left to go in this ball game. I formation, 3rd and 3 from the 45 of the Wolverines. And this time, holy cow! Dion almost hands it to the Westview player. He's going to run this to the 5-10. Touchdown, Wolverines! How did that happen? That was
Snyder.
Holy cow! He was in the backfield before the running back could even get the handoff. He took the handoff from Dion.
He took the ball right out of Dion's hands and just...
Holy cow!
Can't say I've seen that one very often.
Snyder comes shooting in from the A-gap. I think Dion froze when he saw him. He's ready to hand off to his running back. He froze when he saw him and just let him have the ball. 12 seconds to go.
Oh, you could hear a pin drop.
5, 4, 3, 2. Get the snap off. Last play of the game. Brewster rolls right. Gets away from 2 sacks. Dons win. Sack at the 20-yard line. What a game.
And number 40, Lucas Zinder with the game-saving sack. And there is heartbreak on one sideline and a jubilation on another.
Offset eye for the Grizzlies as Keeney takes it under center. They'll send a man in motion. Pitch back to Bird on the sweep. Bird finds a seam. He might go, folks. 20, 15, 10. Drags a tackler. Touchdown! Bird goes 38 yards for the touchdown on the sweep. One more snap is all it's going to take. And there you have it, folks. Your 2011 Division I Sac-Joaquin Section champions, the Granite Bay Grizzlies, as they defeat Pleasant Grove 30-24.
3:16 left to go in this ball game.
Back with you here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv as the team's ready to get out on the field and get Game 2 underway in this best-of-3 set. Franklin taking the field right now as the home team today. Let's set your defensive lineup for the Franklin Wildcats with a record of 22-11 coming into today's game. Starting pitcher today will be Josh Pigg. He'll be throwing to Nick Fry behind the dish. Tyler Blake's over at first base. Kyle Von Ruden at second. Hank Lafort at shortstop. Ryan Sargentson at third. David Berry making his first appearance in this championship. He will be playing left field today. Taylor Waters is in center. Kyle Zanzi is in right. And again, it is Kyle Cortopassi who will be leading things off for St. Mary's in this game. Cortopassi will be followed by Charlie Gaff, Joey Cafesi. Then your next three, J.J. Wagner, Gio Brusa, Eric Weber. Jeremy Farnsworth DHing today for Sam Held, who actually hit yesterday. Sam Held, the starting pitcher for the St. Mary's Rams today. C.J. Owens and Spencer Fairdunt rounding out the lineup for the Rams. Franklin, as you can see, could be wearing the gray jerseys again with the gray pants, the purple lettering. Black hats, purple lettering on the hats for the Franklin Wildcats. St. Mary's 26-6, going to be in the white jerseys again, as we're just staying with that, though the critical part is who gets to bat last. And today, that is going to be Franklin for game 2. Pigg on the mound, getting his warm-up tosses in. Josh Pigg, a potential pro prospect. Head coach Brian Kilby telling us before the game. As he is getting some looks in the draft coming up not long, next week. So teams talking about that. A lot of these kids may get picked up in the later rounds, and that is something that you know that some of those guys have on their minds, and we might see somebody playing at the major league level someday. The odds are long, but you never know. Josh Pigg out on the hill getting ready to start against Cortopassi, who yesterday went 0 for 1 with a walk, a strikeout, and a sacrifice bunt, and he is going to take ball 1. The 1-0 pitch, that's down the heart of the plate for a strike, and the count evens at 1-1. Pigg comes into today's game with a 2.84 earned run average. As this pitch is going to hit Cortopassi that is, and he is on. That was one of the things Coach Brian Kilby was telling me before the game, saying, hey, we want to make sure that Josh isn't a little too wild. If he's focused and throwing strikes, it's going to be he's tough to hit, but if he gets a little bit wild, that's when guys start putting runs up there. Pigg comes in with a 4-1 record to go with that 2.84 ERA. 48 strikeouts, 28 walks, 2 hit batters now make that 3 as he puts Cortopassi on to begin the game. Batting is Charlie Gaff, and this one's going to get by the catcher Fry on the wild pitch, and down to second base goes Cortopassi. So just like that, St. Mary's has a runner in scoring position with their first base runner of the ball game. And they have yet to put the ball in play. 1 ball, no strikes, as that pitch to Gaff was way up near his head. Gaff yesterday 0 for 2, a sacrifice fly and a run driven in center field. There's a pitch in the outside corner. Strike 1. Outfield is shading Gaff well to right. In fact, the center fielder, Taylor Waters, way in that gap. Out in right center. This pitch is going to be fouled straight back into the screen. That belies Josh Pigg's velocity. That last pitch clocked at 87. Coach Kilby telling us he will touch 90 from time to time. Shortstop Lafort jockeying with Cortopassi at second base. Great breaking ball, and just getting a piece of that Gaff fouls it off. St. Mary's last year, the 2-time defending champion. They beat Jesuit last year in 3 games, but game 2, Coach Pyle was saying, was a critical one last year and a lesson that his team learned. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is a line drive right at the second baseman, Kyle Von Ruden, for the first out of the inning. So 1 down on the line out. And now the batter is Joey Confessi, who was the winning pitcher last night and comes up to strains of The Godfather playing over the loudspeaker here on the line out. Confessi steps in 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch yesterday, scored a run, also struck out. Get back to that story Coach Powell telling us about the lesson learned from last year's matchup against Jesuit in just a moment. Pig's first pitch is fouled away 0-1. Coach Powell was saying, so we got up 1-0 last year, winning the first one 6-2. And we had our big pitcher out on the mound, our ace, and the team relaxed and thought he's going to win the game for us, and we lost the second one 10-0 in 6 innings. We got run ruled. And then we came back and fortunately won the last one as Pig fakes a throw to second base. 6-1, St. Mary's winning that Game 3 against Jesuit last year, but Coach Powell was saying the seniors really learned a lesson, and he said he is not concerned about anyone coming into play today or thinking that they can relax a little bit. Here's a strike, throw down to third base on the steal, and Cortopassi gets the bag. Just gets around the slot, or the tag, I should say, of Ryan Sargentson. Cortopassi steals third. It was a strike on the play, so the count is now 0-2, but a sacrifice fly can get in the base runner. Nice heads-up running by Cortopassi. Looks like a good throw by Fry, but that slide by Cortopassi got him to third base. Pig from the stretch with the infield in. This one's in the dirt. Nice block by Fry, and the count is now 1-2. Given how tight the game was yesterday, Coach Kilby playing the infield in right out of the gate here in the top of the first inning. Pig looking for a big strikeout here would certainly help his cause. Let the defense play back. This pitch is popped in the air. Foul ground. Heading over Sargentson. He's going to run out of room. And the count remains 1-2 strikes. While the infield is in, the outfield is shading to right. Big gap in left center right here for Confessi. The 1-2 is way upstairs, and Fry has to climb the ladder to pull that one in. You could tell that Pig has not completely found his rhythm yet. Cortopassi reached on a hit batter down at third base. Advanced the second on a wild pitch, stole third. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball, oh, just misses. Wow, the home plate umpire almost called that strike 3. Our umpiring crew today, that's Brian Carpenter behind the dish. Joe Chipineri down at first base, Gary Sharman at third. And Carpenter almost called that strike 3. The 3-2 pitch is going to be bounced foul down the third base line. Past Coach Pyle and has been at the school since 1984. Now in his 12th year at the helm of the St. Mary's Rams. Nice pitch by Pig. Strikes out Confessi for the second out of the inning. A big one right there. And now the batter is J.J. Wagner. Had 2 hits yesterday, 2 doubles, 2 for 3. Drove in a run, scored a run, struck out. He was very active at the plate. In fact, had his first double, as his first pitch is going to miss low for a ball. His first double hit just below the Pacific, or right just to the left of the Pacific baseball sign out there in left center field, as this one's up and in ball 2. Almost went out, maybe a foot or 2 below the top of the fence. It was a drive. And that was a double in which he came around to score later on in that second inning. Here with 2 outs, 2-0, the infield and outfield playing straight away with a runner at third. Curveball, and that catches the outside corner. Nice pitch there, 2-1. When Pig has been missing on that curveball here in the first inning, he is not missing by much. Here's a 2-1 from Pig. Curveball, and Wagner swings over the top of it, 2-2. Boy, it'd be great for Pig's confidence to get out of this inning, just yielding the hit batter, which you could probably credit to nerves with a leadoff hitter. Given Pig has been around the plate, but probably doesn't have full command yet. This would be huge. This pitch is going to be a little bit outside. The ball gets away from Fry. Play at the plate, and scoring is Cortopassi. The run is in on the pass ball. And the score is 1-0 St. Mary's. Huge early run as Cortopassi works his way around the bases with a hit batter, a hit batter, a wild pitch, a stolen base, and then a pass ball, and then walking is Wagner. So a 2-out base runner, a run already in. And Gio Brusa is the batter. Brusa 1 for 2, was hit by a pitch in yesterday's game. One of two captains on this team, the other being Eric Weber, the catcher, who is on deck. Brusa batting from the left side. Outfield shading slightly to left. The first pitch in there for a strike. This is something Franklin was looking to avoid. A run up on the board. And St. Mary's has just put one ball in play, and that was a line out to the second baseman. There goes the runner. Great jump on the part of Wagner, and he gets second base standing up. As this pitch was outside, and the count evens at 1-1. That was interesting because I think Wagner couldn't believe how good a jump he had. He actually stutter-stepped and slowed down a little bit, going to second base thinking maybe Pig's going to throw over because he hadn't even started into his windup, but Pig didn't see him, and now a runner in scoring position. This pitch is outside, 2-1. 2 outs in the inning. Runner now at second base. The 2-1 pitch. That's low and in, 3-1. So a hitter's count here for Brusa, who could work his way onto first base with a walk. The 3-1, bounce towards first. It's going to get by Blake into right field. Zanzi drops the ball, and scoring on the play is Wagner. Throw to second, safe is Brusa taking the extra bag. Blake couldn't get to the short hop, and Brusa drives in the run and then advances to second when Zanzi dropped the ball. So it's 2-0 St. Mary's here with 2 outs. All this taking place with 2 outs. And a quick conversation between Fry and Pig out on the mound. Brusa driving in the run. The batter is Eric Weber. Weber 0 for 3 yesterday, but hit every single ball hard. Lined out twice, hit it right at fielders. In fact, Blake making a particularly good play down at first base to get one of those as Pig, now maybe overthrowing a little bit, misses outside 1-0. You wonder if Coach Kilby is going to send his brother Brad, who pitched in the A's organization last year and is rehabbing a shoulder injury. So his brother Brian saying, hey, here's a strike. We may only have him for 1 year, but the 2 brothers on the coaching staff are roommates. So they were working last night, going over scouting reports and such, getting ready for today's game, and we'll see if Brad, if Pig struggles with this hitter, as this pitch in the outside corner. Right now he's not. See if Brad Kilby heads out to the mound. But the count right now, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Weber. Two 2-0 St. Mary's. LaForte jockeys with Brusa. Here's the pitch in the dirt, and heading to third base goes Brusa. So on the wild pitch in the dirt, and Brusa was actually running before on the pitch anyway. St. Mary's being very aggressive on the base paths here in the first inning. Runner now at third with a 2-2 count on Weber. Delivery from Pig. Swung on a miss, strike three. So the top half of the first inning ends, but not before St. Mary's gets going with 2 runs on 1 hit, and they strand a runner at third base. And now we will turn our attention to the Franklin lineup as well as the defensive configuration for the St. Mary's Rams. Let's get you the defensive starters here for St. Mary's. First, the pitcher, Sam Held. He's on the mound, throwing today to Eric Weber behind the plate. C.J. Owens down at first base. Spencer Verdun at second. Kyle Cortopassi at short. J.J. Wagner at third. Joey Confessi out in left field. Charlie Gaff in center. Gio Brusa in right. Your starting lineup for Franklin. Hank LaForte to lead off, followed by Ryan Sargentson, Josh Pig, Tyler Blake, Kyle Zanzi, Kyle Von Ruden, Connor Adams batting 7th, Nick Fry 8th, Taylor Waters batting 9th. And on the mound for St. Mary's is Sam Held. All the coaches, teams have a fresh week right now for pitchers, as you can go 10 innings in a week, and the week just restarted. So we're talking to both coaches for today's game, and they were saying we have no concerns about any of our guys. In fact, even the pitchers who pitched yesterday said they could go today if you get in a pinch. And so we could conceivably see Confessi or Von Ruden pitching again if there is a game 3 if necessary. But right now St. Mary's out on top early, and we'll see if Franklin can answer here with Hank LaForte at the plate, and LaForte's going to take a ball from Sam Held, 1-0. LaForte had an interesting evening last night, though I don't know if he and his family would describe it as interesting. This pitch is low, 2-0. LaForte, the freshman shortstop for Franklin, made a 4 a.m. visit to the emergency room last night, actually today, I should say. We're complaining of abdominal pains, and they did a bunch of tests thinking it might be appendicitis, but no, it was a muscle strain. So they gave him some medication. He came in as he takes a strike here and told Coach Kilby, I'm good to go. Coach was saying, weren't you just in the emergency room? Well, yeah, I was, but I am ready to play. I'm not missing this. And so LaForte is in there, and he is going to bounce one to the second baseman. Nice job ranging to his left and making the play. Verdun, and there is 1 out. That brings up Ryan Sargentson. Sargentson went 1 for 3 yesterday with a walk. A lot of walks for this Franklin team yesterday. They had runners on in every inning, but only 1 2-out base hit. And they had other guys on at other points in the game and really couldn't get it untracked as far as getting that key base hit that was going to help their cause. Held on the mound as he throws strike 1 there with a .29 earned run average. You could barely see that with a microscope. That's so small. Doing an outstanding job this year. This ball is high. 24 strikeouts to 4 walks. He has hit 2 batters, but boy, great control. A 3-0 record. The count 2-1 here. And there's a strike, and the count now evens at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes here in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch, that is going to go about 56 feet. 3-2. That one barely got to the dirt. I don't know what Held was trying to throw there, but he could tell you that was a definite mistake pitch. Good thing there was nobody on when that happened. Full count now on Sargentson. That one is low, ball 4, and Sargentson draws a walk. So a runner on, second walk in as many days for Ryan Sargentson. The batter will be the pitcher, Josh Pig. Pig, 0 for 2 yesterday. Walked twice, scored a run. Tyler Blake moves to the on-deck circle for Franklin. Pig steps in from the left-hand side. First pitch from Held, pitching out of the stretch, misses just inside 1-0. We'll see if Franklin is as aggressive on the base paths as St. Mary's was in the top of the first. Sargenson's going to stay where he is, but this pitch is outside and low, 2-0. Both catchers have done a good job behind the plate. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's in there at the knees for a strike. Weber in particular, of the two, smothered a lot of balls yesterday. Directed things well. Here's a grounder up the middle, Held to second for one, over to first, and an easy double play. 1-6-3. They had one yesterday, did St. Mary's, just like that, and they have another one here. And Held gets out of the inning after yielding that walk. So we have played one here at Klein Family Field in Stockton, California. And as we move to the top of the second inning, the score is St. Mary's 2 and Franklin 0. Folks, you can watch highlights or a replay of today's game in our on-demand section. You can also buy a DVD or Blu-ray of today's game right on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Click on Buy DVD and you can order today's game right now. It's that link right in the description section below your media window. Click on that. It'll take you to a separate page where you can go ahead and place your order. Have a game that lasts a lifetime, brought to you by CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. And folks, you can watch all of these games on demand on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. We have last night's game up. Today's game will be up about 15 minutes after it completes. If that forces a game 3 and you need to kill a little time while the players are warming up, you can watch some of game 2 if game 3 becomes necessary. 2-0 our score here. Also want to let you know, if you want to watch the game mobily on an iPad, on your iPhone, on your Droid device, if you don't have Flash, then you can go to youtube.com/playonnetwork. That is youtube.com/playonnetwork. And catch the action. We've also got games going on in the North Coast section from O.Co Coliseum, the Oakland Coliseum, in the North Coast section. Those games will be going on all day. So if you want to get more baseball after these games are done here in the Sac-Joaquin section, you can jump on those games as well. Those games on youtube.com/playonnetwork. The batter will be Jeremy Farnsworth, to be followed by C.J. Owens and Spencer Fairdun. Farnsworth didn't get in the game yesterday, and he's going to foul the first pitch off. Batting .348 this year, however. A homer, a triple, 2 doubles, driven in 5 in 24 plate appearances. Pretty productive in the slugging percentage. And DHing today for the pitcher Held. Count quickly 0-2 as Pig gets ahead. Here's the 0-2 from Pig. Oh, a great breaking ball. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Pig. And the batter is C.J. Owens, who had 2 runs batted in yesterday on an interesting play. As the sun was coming down here at Klein Family Field, it was coming right over the first base stands. As here's the first pitch, it's going to be in the dirt, ball 1. Owens was the batter in the second inning, and he had a bouncer to third that would normally be a routine play, but it went through the shadows and then back into the sun, and the third baseman, Ryan, lost it. Missed it completely. It went down the line for a double. Drove in the first 2 St. Mary's runs, as this one is inside. Count is 2-0. So Owens 1 for 3 yesterday with a double and those 2 runs driven in. Great production from the bottom part of the lineup. He's going to swing through a fastball that gets, or excuse me, a changeup. It goes 80 on the radar gun. Boy, when you've got a pitcher who can throw up to 90 and then drops a changeup on you at 80, Owens way in front. There's a curveball that misses outside, 3-1. Owens looking to get on with 1 out. The pitch from Pig. That one another off-speed pitch, and the count is full. So Pig doing a good job keeping Owens off balance here. Pig comes set. This one's popped in the air out of play. And the count will stay full. Beautiful day here in Stockton. Breeze slightly right to left. You might be able to see the flag out there on the right side of your screen. Not a stiff breeze. Yesterday was 100 degrees at game time. This is a swing and a miss, strike 3. Second strike out of the inning, 4th of the game for Pig. And they're 2 down. So yesterday it was 100 when we started. Today a more comfortable 84. A great day for baseball. The batter now, Spencer Verdun. Verdun 0 for 3 yesterday, but scored a run and struck out in a critical run. Yesterday's game proved to be the game-winning run, but he did it with hustle. He had a ground ball to the shortstop, Lafort, and the ball went through Lafort's legs and whirled out to the outfield. The outfielders got to the ball late, thinking Lafort was going to have a play, and Verdun got to second base and got himself in scoring position on the play. Is the count now even at 1-1? Great hustle. I mean, that would be a situation where normally you're thinking, good, I just got to first base on the error, fantastic. But Verdun took 2 and then came around to score. The 3rd run of the game, and that proved to be decisive. Here's a little dribbler back to Pig, who's got an easy toss over to first base. And after the rough inning he experienced in the top of the first, happy to get a 1-2-3 second. So St. Mary's retired in order. We move to the bottom of the 2nd inning. The score, 2-0 St. Mary's over the Franklin Wildcats. We are in Game 2 here in the CIF Sac-Joaquin Section Division I Championships. Looking for a great place to advertise your business while reaching the greater high school community? Then you want to advertise on CIFSacJoaquin.tv. We have great rates for your business while giving you the opportunity to get your message out to a very important demographic. For more information, give us a call, 619-677-3246. Good crowd on hand here at Klein Field on the campus of the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. Yesterday we had about 700 plus came out for the evening game. Today probably not quite that many, but we're getting pretty close. You probably saw a lot of free seats, empty seats, but I think people staying out of the sun, they have gone up underneath the shaded areas down the left and right field lines. It'll be Tyler Blake, Kyle Zanzi, and then Kyle Von Ruden, the scheduled hitters to face Sam Held in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Blake yesterday 0 for 3, got hit by a pitch, struck out, and scored a run. A very dangerous hitter. He will take ball 1. Hit a couple of stinging foul balls yesterday as well, but unable to get anything going at the plate. This one is also going to be outside 2-0, but you can tell from his swing and his stance that he is a guy who can give the ball a ride. And now a quick conversation between Weber and Held after those first two pitches outside. A lot of senior leadership on this St. Mary's team. Franklin starts 2 seniors. St. Mary's typically starts 8. These guys have a wealth of experience, having been around the program through their last 2 championships the last 2 years. This ball is going to be high and away, ball 3, so a 3-0 count on Blake. Looking to get aboard as the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 2nd. That one is going to be ball 4. Blake gets a 4-pitch walk and is aboard. And the batter is Kyle Zanzi, who had a triple to center yesterday. 1 for 3, drove in the only 2 runs of the game for Franklin. Also struck out. Coach Kilby saying Zanzi is a very even-keeled kid. And we saw that well evidenced as he takes strike 1. Coach Kilby saying the kid could hit a grand slam. He could strike out to end the ball game. You wouldn't know either way, but a very smart student, AP classes, consistent as part of his academic load. As here's a toss down to first base. Blake dives back in. Nice throw from Weber. Count is even at 1-1. You could tell yesterday, too, Zanzi catching a couple balls in the outfield. Looked like he was going to casually toss it in, but he's got a rifle arm as well. Almost had a play at the plate on Verdun. Just the ball a little bit up the third baseline, but was there in plenty of time. If that had been on line, Verdun would have been cut down on that third run in yesterday's game. But yeah, that even-keeled nature of Zanzi's, Coach Kilby was saying, is add some stability in the dugout. When you don't get 2 up or 2 down. Now 3-1 on Zanzi. So Held trying to avoid putting runners on first and second on a pair of walks. Hitters count right here for the number 5 hitter in the order for the Wildcats. The 3-1. Low, and the first 2 batters aboard on walks. Nine pitches of the inning for Held, and 8 of them are walks. And the head coach for St. Mary's, Peter Pyle, is going to walk out there and have a quick conversation with his pitcher. Now, this was not unusual yesterday for St. Mary's in that Kafesi was operating with runners on base the entire game. In fact, we were joking about how Kafesi should just put a guy on at second base to start out, just let him get there because he seemed to pitch better when there were runners on base. But Coach Pyle said he would go out there, talk to him on occasion, and said, how you doing? And he said Kafesi showed no lack of confidence, so he left him in, and it paid dividends. Here, though, Held in a bit of a jam, and I don't know what Coach Pyle, if he liked what he heard from his starting pitcher, but St. Mary's in a bit of a jam here. Showing bunt and taking strike 1 is Von Ruden. So we'll see if there's some activity in the St. Mary's bullpen. Von Ruden showing bunt all the way, and he's going to drop one down the third base line, and it's going to roll foul. And now it's 0-2, and Von Ruden's going to have to swing away. Yesterday, 1 for 3 with a strikeout. On deck, Connor Adams. So Von Ruden takes strike 1, fouls off a bunt attempt on strike 2, so now he's going to have to swing away with the infield at double play depth, and St. Mary's has turned 2 double plays in as many games here in this championship. Von Ruden's going to have to battle. Chokes up on the bat a little bit. Held looking for a big strikeout. This one is in the dirt. Nice block by Weber. Well, you cannot discount that. In fact, catcher's getting better and better at that skill set. You can see it at the high school level. They are really drilling that in with catchers. You see a lot more catchers blocking balls over the last 10 years. Here's the 1-2. That's low, 2-2. Weber's defensive play a moment ago kept the runners exactly where they were. First and second. Blake at second, Zanzi at first. The 2-2 pitch to Von Ruden. It's going to be fouled away, right side. Bottom of the second inning, St. Mary's scored 2 in the top of the first, if you're just joining us, on just 1 hit. Here's the 2-2. Outside corner, no, just missed, and the count is full. St. Mary's fans don't like that. Framed by Weber to give Brian Carpenter behind the plate a nice long look at that ball, but Carpenter set a little bit outside. Full count pitch. Runners are not going to go, and this is going to hit Von Ruden. So he gets on a painful way, but now the bases are loaded for Franklin, and nobody's put the ball in play. Sacks are full of Wildcats. Von Ruden gonna flex the knee a few times. Has now some activity in the St. Mary's bullpen as Michael Rishwain is going to head out to the bullpen in right field. He's got to hustle all the way from the third base dugout out to the bullpen in right center, which I don't know if that's a confidence builder for Sam Held or not. He just watched his pitcher go all the way out there, the pitcher and the catcher, the backup catcher. Usually, I think coaches like to be a little bit more innocuous about that, but no such opportunity here. The players had to run all the way across the field. Now the batter is Adams. Huge opportunity is the DH, and this pitch is a ball, 1-0. Adams may be taking till he gets a strike here. Yesterday, 1 for 2, had a sacrifice bunt, struck out. Infield at double play depth up the middle. Corners are in, at least even with the bag at third is Wagner. This pitch is a strike at the knees, 1-1. The outfield is shading slightly to right. Big gap in left center for Adams. If he hits a ball there, Franklin's going to be running for days. This one's going to be bounced toward third. This should get a run in to the shortstop. Long throw to first is going to retire Adams, but he gets the run in. The RBI for Adams. Scoring is Blake. Advancing Zanzi to third. And Von Ruden to second. So still 2 runners in scoring position, and the game is now 2-1. And there's 1 out in the inning. Fry yesterday 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. St. Mary's is not going to just put him on to get a force out at any base, and Fry will take strike 1. Second and third, 1 out. 2-1 our score, and yet Franklin without a hit. Here is a ball right back to the pitcher. Held does a nice job holding Zanzi at third and then getting the put out to first base. So there's 2 down. And Franklin looking for that clutch hit and not finding it yet. Taylor Waters, the batter, 0 for 3 yesterday, struck out as well in that game. The number 9 hitter in the order for the Wildcats. Boy, if the Wildcats have bases loaded and nobody out, given a gift with 2 walks and a hit batter, and they only get 1 run out of it, that's got to be a huge victory for St. Mary's in this game. This pitch is going to be up and in. 1-0 is the count on Waters. Outside corner for a strike. Good looking pitch there from Held. Outfield, at least center fielder Gaff playing slightly to right. This ball is low. There is a base open for Held. So it's not the end of the world if he walks Waters here, but you don't want to rotate back to the top of the lineup. Swing and a miss on that pitch. And the count is 2-2. And Waters has to get tough here with a 2-strike count on him. Held trying to work his way out of a jam. The 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 swinging. Nice job by Held, who admittedly set himself up for a tough inning, but only yielded 1 run after walking the first 2 batters he faces and hitting the next. A run scored on a ground out, but we move to the top of the 3rd inning, and St. Mary's limits the damage to just 1 Franklin run. 2-1 our score here in Game 2 of Best of 3 in the Division I Championship. Want to have your games broadcast live on the internet, be able to watch it again and again on demand, and make money for your sports program? Want to give your students the opportunity to create their own broadcast for your school's athletic events? Then contact us at info@kbcsports.com. We offer season packages for schools, a full curriculum for your students, and an opportunity to raise up to $10,000 for your sports program. Again, that's info, I-N-F-O, @kbcsports.com, or call us 619-677-3246. Once again, that's 619-677-3246. Kyle Cortopassi, Charlie Gaff, Joey Cafesi going to be going up to the plate here in the top of the 3rd inning. Cortopassi scoring the first run of the ball game in the 1st inning, got on board when he was hit by a pitch. Cortopassi steps in on the right side. He had an eventful turn around the bases. Got hit by a pitch. Advanced the second on a wild pitch. Stole third. Scored on a pass ball. Curveball is in the dirt. Ball one. Two teams that combined for just 7 hits yesterday. St. Mary's walked into the game yesterday with a .336 team batting average, but held. Here's a ball hit to center field and ranging to his right and hauling it in is Waters for the first out. Nice cut by Cortopassi, but he is retired. And the batter is Charlie Gaff, who lined out to second base in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. So these are two pretty good hitting teams. Franklin came in with a .272 batting average. St. Mary's .336. And 3 hits for Franklin yesterday, 4 for St. Mary's, as this pitch is up and in for a ball, 1-0. And today, so far, we've had 1 hit through the first 2 innings. Pig's pitch, curveball, also misses high, 2-0. Outfield continues to shade St. Mary's hitters the opposite way, given that Pig can get up there on the radar gun. This one's going to be pulled, though, to the third baseman, Sargentson, who can't come up with a play. And aboard is Gaff. That is going to be an error on the third baseman. So Sargentson reaches. And the batter is Joey Confessi, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. 4 strikeouts in the game so far for Josh Pig. Here's a throw over to first base. Both coaches agreeing before the game that the change to the new bat designation, the BB Core bats, from the aluminum, which is created a sweet spot more similar to wood bats. As here goes the runner on the curveball. Good one to run on, and getting in there safely, Gaff steals second. I believe that pitch was a ball. 0-1. No, excuse me, that was a strike. Good-looking breaking ball. And Confessi took strike 1. Runner in scoring position for St. Mary's. This one right back up the middle. Lafort manages to get to it, takes his time, gets the ball over to first base, and retires Confessi for the second out. Advancing to third is Gaff. So 2 outs in the top of the third inning. But yeah, the old aluminum bats had a lot of spring. In fact, Coach Powell was saying we had a game a few years ago in a championship. It was 20-13. You're not seeing games like that anymore, and it actually makes the transition easier for kids going to professional sports where they play with a wood bat, because it used to be a big transition from aluminum to wood. Now, with the BB Core bats playing like a wood bat, not so much. This ball in the dirt. Fry does a nice job blocking that pitch and keeping it in front of him and holding Gaff at third base. St. Mary's looking to get that run, get their lead back up to a 2-run advantage. They led 2-0 after 1, now 2-1 here in the second. Wagner walked, stole a base, and scored in his first trip. This one is low, 2-0. St. Mary's has been so aggressive running the bases. Gaff a stolen base. That's the third of the game for St. Mary's through the first 3 innings. This pitch is a curveball high. Pig just a little bit off with that breaking ball. He's not missing by much, but just enough that they are not dropping in. If he can get that going, it's going to be really tough for St. Mary's hitters. Here's a 3-0. Fastball right down the middle of the plate for a strike. Fry can't squeeze it, but it was in there, 3-1 on an 85-mile-an-hour fastball. Wagner, though, with a hitter's count, the cleanup hitter in the order. Had 2 doubles yesterday, a ringing double to left, another one to right. Here's the 3-1. Up the middle, is going to hit the rubber. Lafort on a short hop, long throw, and he gets Wagner at first. A fortuitous bounce for Franklin that went right to the shortstop, and a ball that looked like it was going to be going right up the middle. Instead, it hits the pitching rubber and bounces back to LaForte. He's able to make the play. We move to the bottom of the third inning as St. Mary's comes up empty. They still lead it 2-1 to the Rams. Franklin back to the top of the order in the bottom of the third. Folks, it might seem a little bit premature to talk about the 2012-2013 school year, what with many of you just wrapping up graduations. Maybe you just got out of school. Some of you may be still in school for a little bit longer, but in a little over 2 months, we'll be back on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv with football action from around the section. Starting in late August, we get back to our coverage with the gridiron action, multiple games weekly on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Join us this fall as we kick off the football season right here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, your home for Sac-Joaquin section sports, and you will also be able to follow that action on youtube.com/playonnetwork as you are for today's games. Great way to get those games mobily as you're out and about in your life. Hank LaForte, Ryan Sargentson, Josh Pigg, the batters, scheduled to face Sam Held, as Pigg able to work his way out of an inning that got a runner on an error, but two nice plays by LaForte at shortstop ended the St. Mary's threat in the third. Held had a bases loaded, nobody out situation last inning as he starts out with a pitch high on LaForte 1-0 and managed to yield only one run out of that. LaForte grounded to second base in his first at-bat. Hard to believe this kid is just a freshman batting leadoff for this Franklin team. He's going to have an outstanding career at Franklin. This count now 1-1 as a pitch on the outside corner. Inside corner now 1-2. Held working quickly. This one is driven into right field. That'll be at least a base hit. Yep, ball bounces right in front of Brusa, and LaForte is aboard with his first hit of the series. And we'll see if LaForte gets in motion. As the batter is Sargentson, who walked but was erased on a double play ball in the first. A 1-6-3 double play is Pigg grounding back to Held. First pitch is high, ball one. Held running it up there at 88 miles an hour on that toss. That one's even higher. Two balls and no strikes on Sargentson. Outside corner, 2-1. One thing for Held to be careful of, though, is he's working quickly. You've got to come set out there before you make your delivery, and that time he almost bounced into it with the hands. Keep an eye on his hands here on this pitch as Sargentson calls time. The pitcher has to stop his motion when he comes to the set position. Comes set, there he takes a step, and there's a bunt down Sargentson, right side, but is going to roll foul, and the count now even at 2-2. Not a bad idea. I'm surprised Sargentson wasn't showing bunt earlier in the at-bat. Given moving LaForte into scoring position with the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. Given you're only trailing by 1 run. Would seem to be a solid strategy, but Sargentson can't get the bunt down on 2-1. Now 2-2. Held to the plate. Outside's going to get away from Weber. LaForte's going to get down to second base. Wild pitch. Weber has been so good in the first 2 games here, but unable to get to that one. And the count is now full on Sargentson. Still activity out there in the bullpen for St. Mary's, though Rishwain just standing up at this point. Now sits back down. I think there's a phone out there, so they're just looking for signals. As here's a ball popped in the air, short right field, calling for it. The second baseman, Verdun, makes the grab. And so Sargentson is out. Josh Pig, the batter. Well, Sargentson didn't actually advance the runner across, but the end result for Franklin at the end of that at-bat was to have LaForte at second base, and he is there. Pig, the batter, grounded into that 1-6-3 double play in the first inning. An opportunity to drive in a run and help himself out, getting the game back knotted up at 2, if he can get a base hit. Cortopassi right behind LaForte at second base there, trying to get the runner back. Outfield shading Pig to pull. Again, the big gap out in left center. Every team is given left center field gaps right now on these hitters. This ball is in the dirt, ball 1. Bottom of the third inning. 2-1 St. Mary's. Held's pitch in the dirt. Weber keeps it in front of him. Nice job. 2-0. Held. Check second to the plate. This one is a ball that's going to be topped foul down the first base line. And the count is 2-1. More people continue to file in here at Klein Family Field for a beautiful day of baseball. Not nearly as hot as it was yesterday. A great afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky. Light breeze from right to left. The 2-1 delivery to Pig. In there for a strike. On a fastball that moves back across the plate from the inside half down the middle. And the count's now 2-2. The pitch from Held. That's going to be bounced foul. To the on-deck circle for Franklin on that first base side. Blake puts it back to our home plate umpire, Brian Carpenter. Pig and Held battling here, the two pitchers in today's game. LaForte's going to go. Pig's going to lace it foul down the right field line. So LaForte running on the play. We'll see if he's going to run again with a 2-2 count. Weber is going to step out in front of home plate. Actually just asked for the baseball. We'll see if he flashes a few signs there as well. Or nope. Just making it an easier toss for the second baseman, Verdun. Pig choking up on the bat just a little bit with 2 strikes, trying to shorten that swing up against Held. Good battle going here between these two pitchers. LaForte's going to stay put. And this one's going to be bounced to the right side. Tough play coming up, Verdun. Speedy Pig, and nice job. Verdun gets the out. Down to third base goes LaForte for 3 on the putout for the second out of the inning. And the Franklin base runners move up 90 feet. And the batter will be Tyler Blake. Blake walked and scored in the second inning, the lone run for Franklin. And a base hit here will tie this game up. This pitch is low, ball 1. Blake has seen 5 pitches from Held. They've all been out of the zone. Sixth pitch is a swing and a miss. LaForte looking to see if he can get a run the cheap way. If the ball gets away from Weber. The 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Held doing a good job keeping the ball down on Blake, who's now in a hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's going to choke up on the bat a little bit now. The 1-2 delivery in the dirt. Nice block by Weber. That ball bounced well in front of home plate, and Weber knocked that down. Boy, it gives the pitcher such confidence when your catcher can stop balls like that because you can try to get Blake fishing for strike 3, and if you miss, you know Weber's going to block it and keep that guy on third base. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Popped in the air, foul behind the third base dugout. Count remains 2-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the third inning. LaForte a mere 90 feet away from tying this game up. The 2-2 pitch. Foul tipped out of the glove of Weber. Can't hold on. And it is now another opportunity for Blake. Here comes Held. Strike 3 swinging. And once again, Franklin stranding base runners. Nice job by Held working out of it. We move to the top of the fourth inning. The score remains St. Mary's 2 and Franklin 1. KBCSports.com and the Play On Sports Network showcase great high school games every week, and now you can access our content using multiple platforms. Follow us on Facebook. Get the latest KBC and Play On news on Twitter, or catch our highlights in high definition on YouTube. All of our content can now link to your favorite social media site. Share all the high school action you see every week, brought to you by your home for high school sports, KBCSports.com and Play On Sports. Jeff Kurtz with you here on on the Play On Sports Network. CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, also on YouTube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Hope you're enjoying all of our baseball coverage this weekend, as we've got games going on in the North Coast section here in the northern part of California. Gio Brusa, Eric Weber, Jeremy Farnsworth are the hitters for St. Mary's in the top of the fourth inning, as we are reaching the midpoint of this 7-inning ball game. 7-inning regularly scheduled. Barring extra innings, we've had tight games in game 1. We've got a tight game here in game 2. Josh Pigg working from the stretch is going to start with a pitch way out of the zone for a ball, 1-0. Brusa singled and advanced to second on an error, ended up getting stranded at third as he swings through a fastball. Count evens at 1-1. Did drive in a run with that base hit. That's the only hit of the game right now for St. Mary's. Franklin with one hit of their own as well from Hank LaForte. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 2-1. Outfield is playing. Brusa to pull. That pitch is well outside. 3-1. Pigg trying to find his control a little bit. He has struck out 4 today. He's walked 1 and hit another. 3-1. That's going to be a couple hopper to Blake, who knocks it down. Pigg coming over to cover. Quick throw, safe. Is Brusa. Nice job by Blake keeping it in front of him. I don't know if Pigg got a late jump off the mound or what, but they're going to call that an error on the first baseman. So Brusa is aboard. Leadoff man on again for St. Mary's. That's the second time that's happened, and when it happened in the first inning, they ended up scoring that leadoff guy, Kyle Cortopassi. Now the batter, Eric Weber, struck out swinging in his first at-bat, 0 for 1. Throw over to first base, and Brusa is back. Given how aggressively St. Mary's has been running the base paths, not a bad idea. Tossing over there. They already have 3 stolen bases in the game. They've been taking the extra bag whenever possible. Pigg comes to the plate And this one's going to be fouled at the plate and gets a bit of Fry. Takes a lot of courage to be a catcher, even with all that gear on there. I don't know if he got that, where he got that one, if it was on the wrist or what, but he's taking a minute to gather himself out near the mound. The umpires will give him as much time as he needs. Looks like it might have caught him just above the shin guard on the right side, in on the thigh, on the inner thigh. So that's going to leave a bit of a bruise. But this is for Franklin, if you don't win here, this is your last game of the season, certainly the last day of the season, so you're going to leave it all out there if you're the Wildcats. Fry has gathered himself and back behind the plate. Toss over to first is going to get by Blake, and on to second base at least goes Brusa. He's going to hold right there as Zanzi with that cannon arm gets it over to third. So the error on the throw over by the pitcher. Pig, and now a runner in scoring position for St. Mary's. The count is no balls and a strike. We'll see if a bunt play is on here with nobody out for Weber. Curveball misses outside, 1-1. Weber not showing bunt. Coach Pyle flashing his signs. Here's the 1-1. Swinging through that is Weber, 1-2. That ball 85 miles an hour, according to the radar gun here at UOP. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The pitch, this is over the head of the second baseman, going to fall for a base hit. Brusa wanted to make sure it was going to clear the second baseman, Von Ruden, before he got going. And so he will just advance 1 base. So they're now runners at the corners on the single to right field with nobody out. And the batter is the designated hitter, Jeremy Farnsworth, who struck out swinging in his first at-bat. We're going to have a base runner for Weber, the catcher. That's going to be Logan Sanders. So Logan Sanders now running. And Zimmerman the hitter. Or excuse me, Farnsworth the hitter. I don't know where I got Zimmerman from, folks. There's nobody with that name on the roster for St. Mary's. This pitch is going to be hit into right field. Zanzi's going to fade on it. He's going to have a catch. Here comes the runner from third. The throw to the plate, and in is Brusa on the sacrifice fly by Farnsworth, who gets his job done. And it's a 3-1 ball game. Holding at first base is Weber, or excuse me, Sanders now running for Weber. So there's 1 out, and it's 3-1 St. Mary's in the top of the 4th inning. The batter, C.J. Owens. He struck out swinging his first time up. There goes the runner, Sanders. Here's the throw down to second base, and Sanders is out. Lafort got the tag down on the leg. The throw, if it had actually been on the money, probably would have been late, but because it was to the right of the bag, Lafort got the tag down on Sanders before he got to the base. So there are 2 outs in the inning. And now a 2-0 count on the hitter. The 2-0 pitch fouled back. So St. Mary's has once again scratched out a run. An error. Advancing to second on an error, Brusa. Then gets to third on a base hit and scores on the sacrifice fly. This ball is a ball, and the count is now 3-1. Inside corner for a strike, 3-2. Pig trying to get out of this one. The 3-2 pitch, low and in, ball 4. So the batter Owens walks with 2 outs. And now Spencer Verdun, the hitter. Verdun grounded out to the pitcher in his first at-bat. And now time is the call. We're going to have a pinch runner for Owens. And this time it's going to be Zach Johnson. So Johnson to run. You get that free substitution for some of your players. So Owens can stay in the game. Verdun the batter. See if Johnson's on the move. He has a short lead, and he will not go anywhere as Verdun takes strike 1. Two outs in the inning. Already 1 run across for St. Mary's. Second pitch, a ball. There goes the runner. This ball is a 2-hopper to Blake, who's going to knock it down and then tag the base runner. Verdun, good effort, tries to slide under the tag, but he is retired on the ground out to first. But St. Mary's gets a run in the top of the 4th inning. We move to the bottom of the 4th, and the score is now 3-1. St. Mary's leading it over Franklin. Folks, do you need a highlight video for your athlete working to earn that 4-year scholarship? Then you want to contact kbcsports.com. We can provide recruiting video for any athlete in any sport. Not only that, but we give you your own recruiting page right on our website. No more mailing DVDs to colleges. Instead, email coaches the link to your personal page. For more information, including pricing, contact us at recruits@kbcsports.com or call us at 619-677-3246. A little bit of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts playing in the background, as Franklin is going to send Kyle Zanzi, Kyle Von Ruden, and Connor Adams to the plate in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing 3-1. Zanzi walked in his first at-bat. Sam Held back out in the mound for another inning of work. Starts Zanzi out with a fastball for a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Second pitch is a breaking ball outside. That counts 1-1. Held in the dirt, 2-1. Not much offensively for Franklin so far in this game, just that one hit. LaForte last inning. They have walked 3 times and reached base on a hit batter. This ball up and in, ball 3. And Zanzi is 1 pitch away from getting to first base on a walk for the 2nd time in the game. Here's a 3-1. Ball 4. Zanzi is aboard the easy way with a free pass, his second of the game. And now the batter is Kyle Von Ruden, who got hit with a pitch on a 3-2. Pitch back in the second inning. Coach Pyle out to the mound to talk to Held. His team, having just gone up by 2 runs again, wanted to make sure that Franklin does not get any on the board here. Hanging out in that bullpen, Rishwain, he has not moved from there. That was where the second pitcher was going to come from for St. Mary's from the get-go, was going to be Rishwain, who's now starting to throw a little bit out there in the bullpen. He threw back in the second inning when Franklin got some runners on with those 2 walks and a hit batter. They had the bases loaded with nobody out and came away with just 1 run. So Von Ruden, the batter. The first pitch is up and in, ball 1. Nice lead over there at first for Zanzi. This pitch is high, snap throw down to first base. Zanzi is back in. 2-0 count. You wonder if Held walks Von Ruden, if that might be all she wrote for Held. 2 balls, no strikes. That's a strike at the knees, 2-1. Connor Adams on deck for Franklin. That pitch is outside, 3-1. Held taking a moment, gathering himself, pitching from the stretch. Rishwain continues his warm-up tosses in the bullpen out in right center field for the Rams. The 3-1 pitch. Swinging through it is Von Ruden, and the count is now full. Three balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, that's going to be fouled away. Von Ruden just getting a piece of that ball. Not wanting to gamble. The pitch might have been a little bit low and outside, but he did not want to risk it. And took a hack at that ball and fouled it off. The pitch from Held, fouled away again, this time just over the fence line here. The netting behind home plate. Really have to have your wits about you if you're a fan here today. Here's the pitch from Held, and it's popped in the air behind first base. Owens is there and makes the catch. And then doubles him off. Zanzi strayed too far from first base. A base running miscue. And there are 2 out in the inning. I think Zanzi failed to realize or just forgot that, okay, the catch was made, and usually you're jogging back, but this ball was right behind first base, and Owens heads up, throws to the pitcher covering Held to get the out. So a double play, and there are 2 down. Boy, that is unfortunate there for Franklin. 1 ball and no strikes on Adams. And now 2-0. Well, you've got a pitcher who's struggling with his control. You had a 3-2 pitch, and the guy pops out to first, and then your runner gets doubled up at first base. Really nowhere to go. No sense going halfway. This one's going to be bounced up the middle, and it's going to be a base hit. Connor Adams takes the 2-0 pitch and singles to center with 2 outs. You would have had runners at least at first and second there, if not first and third, with only 1 out. Instead, you've got a runner on with 2 outs. The batter is Nick Fry. So Adams 1 for 2 on the game with an RBI. Fry 0 for 1, and Coach Pyle, I think he's seen enough. He's making his second trip to the mound, so he's got to make a move. And Rishwain is going to come in. So Sam Held goes 3 2/3 innings and gives up 2 hits. Walks 4, strikes out 2, hits a guy, and is responsible for the runner at first base, having given up just 1 run so far. The new pitcher will be Michael Rishwain. So Rishwain comes in. We'll give you his numbers in just a moment here. Rishwain, a senior, is going to be playing at Westmont College next year. And let's tell you how he's doing on the season. Rishwain comes in with an ERA of 2.55 in 49 innings. Opponents are batting .230 against him. Rishwain has struck out 47, walked 20. He's hit 6 batters this year with a couple of wild pitches. He's got a record of 8-2, however, with 1 complete game and a shutout to his credit, coming on here in the middle of this one. So Rishwain is being asked by Coach Pyle, ideally, to bring this one home for the Rams in the next 3 1/3 innings. And after that base hit by Connor Adams, and given that Held has been around the plate but not on top of it as far as his control goes, Coach Pyle wants to make the move, and he does. So the batter will be Nick Fry, who grounded out to the pitcher, Held in his first at-bat, now facing Rishwain with 2 outs and a runner at first. In the bottom of the 4th inning, a 3-1 St. Mary's lead here in Game 2. St. Mary's leads at 1-0 in this best 2 out of 3 set. Fry trying to keep the inning alive. First pitch from Rishwain, outside corner, strike 1. Rishwain just needs to throw strikes. That's one thing both coaches emphasize with the different bats now. You can really go after hitters, challenge hitters, knowing that you aren't going to get an excuse me hit. Here's a nice short hop played, long throw, scooping is Owens. Great play all the way around. Cortopassi going back in that ball, getting the short hop, and then Owens with the scoop at first base to get the out. We have completed 4 here at Klein Family Field on the campus of the University of the Pacific. The score after 4, 3-1. St. Mary's leading it over Franklin in this Division I championship game. Folks, you can catch the best of Sac-Joaquin section baseball on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. You can watch a replay of today's games after each one concludes, assuming if there's one. We'll have this one up about 15 to 20 minutes after the game is over. If we happen to play a Game 3, that one will also be up 15 to 20 minutes after the game is complete. Last night's game available for you to watch already. You can check out game highlights and action from around the Sac-Joaquin section this year on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. And if you want to catch some of our football coverage, you can go to kbcsports.com for that. Order a DVD or Blu-ray disc of the game today. You can do that in the media window below, the description below your media window where you're watching the game on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Just click on the link there. It'll take you to our ordering system. We're your home for baseball in the Sac-Joaquin section, CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. The Rams in the top of the 5th inning are going to be sending up Kyle Cortopassi, Charlie Gaff, Joey Cafesi to face Josh Pig, who is out there for his 5th inning of work. Pig has given up 3 runs. The book is closed on Sam Held. Just that 1 run in 3 2/3 innings. Pig has struck out 4, but none since the 2nd. Cortopassi has reached and scored after getting hit by a pitch in the 1st, and he flew out to center in the 3rd. Now up here in the 5th. First pitch to Cortopassi is high, ball 1. This was the inning, the 5th, yesterday, where in a tie ball game at 2 apiece, St. Mary's got 2 runs, and that was the difference in the game. That one is low. 2-0. That one is low again. 3-0. No activity for Franklin at this juncture. 3 runs, 2 hits, no errors for St. Mary's in the game. 1 run, 2 hits, 4 errors for the Wildcats. 3 balls and no strikes on the leadoff hitter. Curveball away, ball 4. And Cortopassi aboard for the second time in the game, doing just what a leadoff batter should do, get on base. And the batter now will be Charlie Goff. Gaff 0 for 2, reached on an error in the 3rd inning, lined out to second. As hustling down to warm up now for Franklin. Looks like that's Brandon Coip, the senior. And Brad Kilby, the pitching coach, is going to head out to the mound. What a great asset to have for Franklin, and a great opportunity for the Kilby brothers to get a chance to coach together this year. Mike Cody, also on the staff, has been the head coach 9 years at Franklin before yielding the reins to Brian Kilby in his first season. And Brad, who pitched for the Oakland A's back in 2010-2011, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, rehabbing a shoulder injury. Getting a chance to coach these kids. They get some seasoning from a guy who's made it to the big show, and that's a pretty great opportunity for these youngsters at the high school level. Runner at first, nobody out, and the batter is Gaff, who's going to swing at the first offering from Pig and foul it away. I'll tell you what, Brad Kilby looks like a pitching coach. He's got a career set up for him after his professional career is over with, you can bet. Because he looks like he's got the pen up in the cap when he's out talking on the mound. He's charting pitches. He knows the drill. No balls and a strike. Short lead at first base for Cortopassi, who does have a stolen base in the game. He stole 3rd back in the 1st inning. Pig's going to throw over lightly. Pig threw one away in the 4th inning, and that set up Brusa to get into scoring position ultimately and score the 3rd run of the game for the St. Mary's Rams. Cortopassi's not going to go as Fry calls for the pitch out, then drops the ball, but count now 2-1. Excuse me, make that 1-1. Thought we were a little ahead of ourselves there. The 1-1 pitch. Popped foul out of play, and now the count's 1-2. Kafesi waits on deck to be followed by J.J. Wagner. The only guys with hits in the game for St. Mary's, there are 2 hits, one for Gio Brusa, one for Eric Weber. They are the 5 and 6 hitters scheduled this inning for the Rams. Here's the 1-2. Again, a pitch out called by Fry. Snap throw down to first, but back is Cortopassi, and the count's even at 2-2. Winds picked up a little bit here in Stockton, blowing right to left. Curveball way up and in, and the count is full now on Gaff. So if Gaff can get aboard here, wow. Be huge as he and Brian Carpenter, the home plate umpire, having a conversation for a minute. Gaff walks away with a smile, steps back in. The 3-2 pitch, up and away, or up and in, excuse me, ball 4. So runners at first and second for St. Mary's. Nobody out, and the batter is Kafesi. And you wonder if this might be the last hitter for Pig if he can't get Kafesi out. He was 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Probably a play on here, you would think. Double play up the middle right now for Franklin. Corners in for the Wildcats. Outfield playing straight away, medium depth. Kafesi's going to square, going to get the bunt down, foul. You see this more and more now. Sacrifice bunts, getting guys over. Given that the bats are a little bit different now, you got to play a little bit of small ball as Kefesi this time squared and then pulls back. And the count is even at 1-1. Two players reaching on walks. Four walks in the game yielded by Pig. This pitch misses outside, 2-1. Pig has also hit a batter. Struck out 4, so 4 Ks, 4 walks, a hit batter, 2 hits yielded by Pig. Here's the 2-1. This is going to be topped to the first baseman. Blake is going to make the tag on Kefesi, who does his job on the ground out to first, advancing the runners to second and third. If you're going to get out, hit it to the right side. And so with 1 down in the inning, St. Mary's has runners at second and third, and we'll see if Franklin's going to play the infield in or if they're just going to walk Wagner, the 4-hitter in the order, and pitch to Brusa. Wagner walked, stole a base, and scored in the first, grounded to short in the third. Franklin's going to play the infield in here with 1 out and runners at second and third. Pig's pitch. That is a curveball in there for a strike. He has not gotten too many curveballs over for strikes. Looks like the ball has a late bite to it right now, and it's breaking late. But at that time, he got the ball in at the letters on the inside corner, and then Fry wants to have a quick conversation with his pitcher. I don't know if they got crossed up on the signals or what, but they've got an 0-1 count right now on Wagner. Outfield straight away, infield in for Franklin here in the top of the 5th. The 0-1, that one is high, ball 1. Pig comes set, pitching from the stretch. To the plate, another curveball that's way high, and it's 2-1. Pig's just not finding that release point well on the breaking ball right now, and it's letting St. Mary's sit on the fastball. First base is open, so not the end of the world for Franklin if Wagner walks. Here's the 2-1 pitch coming from Pig. That's a curveball. It's going to miss high again, 3-1. Brusa is on deck. Hitters count, though, in the meantime for Wagner, who can drive the baseball. The 3-1 fastball is going to be popped in the air, short right field. Coming is Zanzi, hustling, makes the catch, and it's going to be too close for Cortopassi to get in from third base. So a nice bit of pitching right there by Pig. Gets the second out of the inning. St. Mary's unable to advance the runners and get that 4th run, and now the batter is Brusa. As Brusa having a good-natured conversation with Fry and home plate umpire Brian Carpenter. Both these teams reflective of their coaches, very genial, both guys talking to each other before the game. Just staffs you really enjoy being around, and you would not have any issue with your kids playing for either one of these gentlemen or their coaching staffs. Here's a pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 on Brusa, who is 1 for 2 in the game with an RBI and a run scored. Singled to left back in the first inning and then reached on an error in the 4th. The 1-0 outside, 2-0. Weber on deck for St. Mary's, looking to get another run or 2 on the board if they can. They've got 2 runners in scoring position. And a hitter's count for Brusa. Pig's going to step off the rubber and step back in. They're playing Brusa to pull as Franklin. Von Ruden on the grass in the outfield at second. Center fielder Waters is shading. Nice job by Fry knocking this ball down in the dirt. Now you might be thinking here, wow, Pig getting wild again, but it could be he's just trying to pitch around Brusa a little bit. what with first base open. Weber also a base hit. These are the two guys in the game, the two captains with the hits for St. Mary's. And he's on deck. 3-0 right down the heart of the plate, 3-1. Three balls and a strike, 2 outs. Hitters count for Gio Brusa. Pig delivers. Popped in the air towards the third base dugout out of play, and the count is now full 3-2. Runners not going to be going on 3-2 here with 2 outs, with runners at second and third. Brusa and Pig now battling it out there in the top of the 5th. This one's driven towards the gap in left center. That's going to fall for extra bases. 2 runners are going to score. Bruce has broken this game open. He's looking to go to 3. Here comes the throw from the relay man. Bruce is in there with a triple. Gio Brusa drives in 2 runs, and St. Mary's is up 5-1. On a 3-2 pitch, Brusa takes Pig to the gap in left center field, all the way to the 405 mark out there in that corner where the left field wall and the center field wall meet. Waters got to the ball as quickly as he could, but since he was playing Brusa to pull, and he went the opposite way with it, it was more than enough time for Brusa to get to third base on the triple, and that is going to knock Pig out of the game. So Josh Pig goes 4 2/3 innings, but leaves trailing 5-1. And the new pitcher is going to be Brandon Coip. So Coip comes in, and we'll give you the numbers on Brandon Coip. Coip comes in with an ERA of 3.65, 28 strikeouts to go along with 18 walks. He has hit 7 batters this year. A record of 5-2 in 10 appearances. He has a complete game, though that's obviously not his situation this time. And he will be facing Eric Weber, who has a chance to make it a 6-1 ball game with a base hit. Only the 3rd hit of the game for St. Mary's, but boy, a lot of mistakes right now for Franklin. They've got 4 errors in the game. They've walked 4. They've hit a batter. That one, though, just a function of a great piece of hitting by Brusa with 2 strikes, going with the pitch, not trying to get his wrists rolled over and pull it. He went with it and drilled it into the left center field gap for a triple.
Number 25, Josh Pig, is now out in left field.
Josh Pig is now going to move to left field, replacing David Berry. Berry was playing in the field only, as the designated hitter Connor Adams was batting for him. At the high school level, for the DH, you can hit for whomever you want, or you can elect not to have a designated hitter. Yesterday, St. Mary's did not have a DH. Today they do. Farnsworth batting for the pitcher held. The designated hitter at the high school level can be employed for any position player, and that is what Franklin has done for the last 2 days. Connor Adams batting today for David Perry. And now will likely be batting for Brandon Coip, who's on the mound with a runner at third, 2 outs, now trailing 5-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Two days in a row that St. Mary's has gotten 2 runs in their half of the 5th. First pitch was a strike to Weber. Second pitch, this is a little bit low and outside, 1-1. Coip gets the sign, comes to the plate, and a nice off-speed breaking ball, and Weber waves at that, and the count is now 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at third, Brusa gets his lead. The pitch, barely getting a piece of the end of that bat, is Weber, who's 1 for 2 today, a single to right, and he struck out. Weber settles back in. Coip comes to the plate. Up the middle, right between the legs of Coip into center field. The runner scores. Once again, 2-strike hitting by St. Mary's. And they have increased their lead 6-1. So it was Gio Brusa with a 3-2 pitch where he tripled in 2. Now Eric Weber with a 1-2 pitch where he singles in the runner. And now the hitter is Farnsworth, who takes the first pitch he sees and singles to right. And so now the runners at first and second as St. Mary's suddenly getting 3 hits in a row after they'd only had 2 for the game. And the batter will be C.J. Owens. So Farnsworth now 1 for 2 on the day with an RBI. Owens, the batter, as immediately hustling out to the bullpen, Connor Adams for Franklin. Running at first base, Scott Gerlomas is going to run for Farnsworth. C.J. Owens 0 for 1 in the game, walked in his last at-bat, struck out swinging against Pig in the second. The book is closed on Pig, yielding 5 runs in his 4 2/3 innings. Six to 1 our score. 3 runs in the inning for St. Mary's in the top of the 5th. Runners at first and second. Owens looking for more against Brandon Coip. Coip's first pitch, low and away, ball 1. Nice job by Fry, reaching back across his body to make the play. Yesterday's Game 1 score was 4-2. Today, St. Mary's leading it 6-1. They're already up 1 game to none in this best 2 out of 3. Coip's pitch, outside again, 2-0. Owen showing patience at the plate. Has a hitter's count right here. The 2-0. That's going to be bounced foul. Third base side. Count is 2-1. Coip's going to step off the rubber and set himself. With 2 outs, Coip delivers outside, 3-1. St. Mary's crowd plenty to cheer about right now with their team leading by 5. And they're pitching, stifling Franklin bats. This one is inside, ball 4. So the bases are full for the Rams. All this coming with 2 outs. Second walk of the game for Owens. And now Spencer Verdun is the hitter. Verdun 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Once to the pitcher, once to first. Coip stays out there. He's yielded 2 hits and a walk as Adams continues to loosen out in the bullpen. First pitch bounced up the middle. LaFord is there and is going to go the short way to second base unassisted. And that will end the inning. But not before St. Mary's gets 3 runs in the top of the 5th. They leave 3. We advance to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score, St. Mary's 6 and Franklin with 1. Folks, you can watch highlights or a replay of today's game in our on-demand section. You can also buy a DVD or a Blu-ray of today's game right now on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. How do you do it? Well, you just click on the link below in the description section, below your media window, and you can order today's game right now. Have a game that lasts a lifetime. Brought to you by CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Michael Rishwain out there again. Came in, pitched a third of an inning in the fourth. He'll be facing the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the order for Franklin. Waters, Lafort, and then Sargentson. So it looks like we might have a pinch hitter for Taylor Waters, because right now Franklin needs some offense. Looks like Riley Simmons is taking some warm-up swings in the on-deck circle. Simmons, a junior, and if he is coming in, let's give you his numbers as he'll be making his first appearance. Simmons batting .211 this year, a couple of doubles, 5 runs driven in 20 games, 41 plate appearances, 38 at-bats. St. Mary's in the driver's seat right now. If you're Franklin, you got to knock this game into stages where you're winning innings from here on out, or at least knocking into this a little bit, into this deficit. If they can come away with a couple of runs here to make it 6-3, that gives them some hope. They still have 6 outs remaining after this inning. Riley Simmons will be hitting. Hitting for Waters. So it'll be Simmons, Lafort, and Sargentson to face Rishwain, who's going to start Simmons off with a first pitch fastball for a strike. And the count is 0-1. Simmons batting from that left-hand side. Rishwain comes to the plate. Healthy cut by Simmons, but it's now 0-2. Now Simmons going to choke up. The pitch from Rishwain. High, and Simmons able to hold up. A ball and 2 strikes. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors for St. Mary's. 1 run, 2 hits, 4 errors for Franklin. That is in there, strike 3 called. Good looking pitch at the knees. Simmons can't do anything with it, and there is 1 out in the inning. And the batter is Hank Lafort, one of the 2 hits in the game for Franklin. The freshman steps in there, 1 for 2. Stranded at third in the 3rd inning. He's going to look at a fastball. Boy, Rishwain right now, no need to nibble. When you're up 6-1, you can go right at people and let your defense do the work. Oh, that is a fantastic pitch. Wow. That was a slider that broke from here to Antarctica. There's a pitch outside, 1-2. Rishwain pitching with confidence and a 5-run lead. That one just a little bit high. Not a bad look. That one didn't break as much as that second strike did. The count's 2-2. Outside, 3-2. So Lafort working his way back from an 0-2 hole. Now is a full count. Lafort's reached base 3 times in 2 games. This one is going to be hit to the second baseman. Nice job coming up with it. Throw and digging it out. Owens again from Verdun. 2 good gloves there by St. Mary's as Verdun goes to the backhand to make the play, and Owens digs it out of the dirt. Verdun throwing against his body a little bit as he was moving away from first base, and the speedy Lafort hustling down the line. But there are 2 outs in the inning. And the batter is Ryan Sargentson. 0 for 1 in the game. He's walked in the first, popped to second in the third, I should say, and takes a ball up and in for a 1-0 count. That pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. A ball and a strike to Sargentson. That one is low, 2-1. On the bottom of the 5th inning, 6-1 St. Mary's. The Rams looking to close this out in this best 2 out of 3. High, 3-1. Sargentson looking to get aboard. This pitch is going to be pulled foul down the third base line. Sargentson wants to get aboard any way he can. Yesterday, Franklin's runs came with 2 outs. Today, they had bases loaded, nobody out in the second, and came away with just 1 run. A huge opportunity for Franklin when they were trailing 2-0 to at least tie the game up, but Held worked his way out of it. And there is a strike looking on the outside corner. Nice job by Rishwain, who is cruising through that inning. And we move to the top of the 6th inning after a 1-2-3 fifth. St. Mary's leads it. Still 6-1 our score going to the top of the 6th. Looking for a great place to advertise your business while reaching the greater high school community? Then you want to advertise on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. We have great rates for your business while giving you the opportunity to get your message out to a very important demographic. For more information, give us a call at 619-677-3246. Jeff Kurtz with you. You can see some of the crowd enjoying this beautiful day here in Stockton. Some of the kids getting a wiffle ball game going on out there in left field. Some of the younger brothers of the St. Mary's and Franklin players. Actually, they're playing a game of pickle. Gotta love that. That is an old school game that has been played for a number of years. Just go between the bases and try not to get out. And St. Mary's looking to see if they can get something going again offensively here in the 6th inning after a 3-run 5th. They batted around the Rams in the 5th inning, so it'll be back to the top of the order, and Kyle Cortopassi to be followed by Charlie Gaff and Joey Cafesi. Here in the top of the 6th. Jeff Kurtz with you, Timothy King providing all the video today here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Also, you can follow the action on YouTube.com/PlayOnNetwork. That's YouTube.com/PlayOnNetwork. First pitch is going to be driven down the line foul by Cortopassi, 0-1. As Coip out there for his 2nd inning of work. Go ahead and go to youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork to get the game on your mobile devices. iPad, iPhone, any Droid you've got. Your Samsung Galaxy, whatever you have. This one down the heart of the plate, strike 2 on Cortopassi. Cortopassi 0 for 1 today. He's reached on a hit batter back in the 1st inning and a walk in the 5th. He scored a couple of runs. This one is in the dirt, and the count is 1-2. Brandon Coip, one of the few seniors on this team for Franklin. They've just got 5 seniors, so they are certainly well poised to make another run at this one next year. This ball fouled into the dugout. Franklin came into today's game 3-0 in elimination games. Having to beat Davis to get here. And a couple earlier on where they were facing elimination, they came on to win, but right now in a bit of a hole, trailing 6-1. This one's going to be lined over Sargentson into left field. Pig's going to cut it off in the corner. It gets under his glove. Cortopassi is going to make it to second base on the stinging double to left field. For his first hit of this series.
The batter, number 2, Charlie Gaff.
And Charlie Gaff is the hitter. 0 for 2 with a stolen base in the game. Scored a run in the 5th. He walked to get on board in the 5th inning. Runner at second is Cortopassi. Coip has yielded 3 hits and a walk in a third of an inning. This one towards center field. Coming on, and it's going to fall for a base hit. In front of Waters, who's out there defensively. He can stay in the game defensively, even though he was hit for in the order by Riley Simmons. Runners at the corners now for St. Mary's with nobody out, and the batter is Joey Cafesi. And we're going to have a relief pitcher, it looks like, for Coip. Franklin was warming up in the bullpen out underneath the scoreboard. Looks like that was Connor Adams who's going to be coming in. Also heading out there, Cameron Coip, the sophomore, and Tanner Roberts, who's a junior. So Roberts likely to get some warm-up tosses. Maybe Cameron Coip, the younger brother of Brandon. But now Connor Adams on to throw. So Franklin trying to keep this game from getting away from them. With runners at the corners, nobody out, and already trailing 6-1. And wanted to make sure it does not get any worse. So Adams on to throw, and we'll give you his numbers here. Connor Adams with an ERA of 2.41 this season. 11 strikeouts, 11 walks, 3 hit batters. He started 3 games this season. Record of 3-2, a couple of saves in 11 appearances for Franklin, now making his 12th appearance of the year. So Adams on to throw, and he has been handed a rough patch. And that he's got runners at the corners and the 3, 4, and 5 hitters coming up. So head coach Brian Kilby has not necessarily yielded the best of situations to Mr. Adams, but the designated hitter and now pitcher for the Franklin Wildcats is going to see what he can do to get out of this inning with a limited amount of damage for the Wildcats. 4-2 was our score yesterday. St. Mary's winning a tight ball game. Here today, they lead at 6-1. And the batter is Joey Cafesi, who's 0 for 3. Struck out in the first inning, grounded to short in the third, grounded out unassisted to the first baseman Tyler Blake in the 5th. And Cafesi steps in with Cortopassi at third and Gaff at first. Gaff can run. So let's see if St. Mary's is going to put a play on right away and put Gaff in motion. Adams from the stretch comes to the plate. Gaff stays where he is, and this first pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. 7 hits in the ball game for the Rams. This is more like the hitting we've come to expect from St. Mary's this year. They walked into the series with a .336 batting average. Gaff's going to run. Fry's going to throw. It's going to be cut off at second base. Actually, they might have had a play. Cortopassi wasn't really looking to make a move, and the ball had gone through. Gaff was kind of jogging at the end of that, so now runners at second and third. I mean, you risk having Cortopassi go, but boy, if you can get a strong throw back to home plate, you might get a couple of outs there. Instead, second and third. Here's a pitch outside, and the count is now 3-0. A base is open, of course, for Cafesi, but the dangerous J.J. Wagner on deck. Cafesi likely taking here. Adams is going to leave this pitch high, ball 4. So the bases are loaded with nobody out for Franklin. Or excuse me, for St. Mary's. Franklin's defense looking at nobody out. The batter is Wagner. He walked, stole a base, and scored in the first. Then grounded to short, fly to right, 0 for 2. A fly ball to right field, though, here, deep enough, will score a run. Gio Brusa on deck. St. Mary's already up by 5, can really crank this up here. Adams' first pitch, low and away, ball 1. 5 pitches now for Adams, and all of them have been out of the strike zone. So likely you would think Wagner taking till he gets one. Still activity going. 2 players warming up in the bullpen for Franklin. Here's a swing and a miss, and the count now 1-1. Cortopassi at third, Gaff at second, Cafesi at first. Corners in, double play up the middle for the Wildcats. Breaking ball just catches the outside corner, 1-2 now on Wagner. Nobody out in the inning. Adams' pitch in the air, shallow center, coming on is Waters, and the ball is going to be dropped, and then LaForte overthrows second base, so they don't even get the out at second. Everyone had to hold up just in case the ball was caught, but it's going to be a single to center field, and everybody moves up 90 feet, and the run is knocked in by Wagner. Boy, that at least could have resulted in an out for Franklin, but the wheel's coming off the apple cart here a little bit right now for the Wildcats. 7-1 is the score. And the batter is Bruce, who'd had triple to the gap for a couple of runs batted in his last at-bat. He scored a couple runs, reached on an error in the fourth, singled in the first for an RBI. He's got 3 RBI in the game. First pitch outside, 1-0. So he is 2 for 3. Unfortunate for LaForte and for the Wildcats there, and that everybody was staying where they were as that curveball is in there for a strike. For St. Mary's, given that there was going to be a close play in the outfield, and you don't want to get doubled off, so everyone got a late jump because they had to stay close to the bag. But the Wildcats could have had an out. Instead, the overthrow from LaForte to the second baseman, Von Ruden, and there's nobody out still for Franklin. Curveball in the air, left field. Pig has got a play on it. This is going to get another run in. Sacrifice fly. The catch is made. 1 out in the inning. The other 2 runners are going to stay where they are. Sliding in easily is Gaff for the second run of the inning. And the sac fly, that is the 4th run driven in by Brusa in the game. And it's an 8-1 score. And the batter is Eric Weber. Weber, 2 for 3, I should say, with an RBI, a couple of singles, and a strikeout in the first inning. 8-1 the score. Curveball, bounce to third. Nice job by Sargentson, grabbing it, tagging the bag, throws over to first, not in time. On the fielder's choice, Cafesi is retired for the second out. Over to second goes Wagner. At first now is Weber. And the batter was going to be Jeremy Farnsworth, but instead it's going to be Scott Gerlomus. So Gerlomus, who came in to run for Farnsworth last inning, has stayed in the game. Gerlomus, the senior, getting in an at-bat. In this championship with runners at first and second, he's going to take a strike in the outside corner. 2 down in the inning, 2 runs across already for St. Mary's. They lead it 8-1 in the top of the 6th. St. Mary's players cheering on Gerlomus, who puts this one in the air to left. Pig can't find it. Now he does late and makes the catch. A little bit of an escapade out there in left field as Pig lost it in the sun, but then found the baseball and gets the 3rd out of the inning, but not before St. Mary's adds a couple more runs to their advantage. Franklin now has 6 outs remaining in their season, and they have a 7-run deficit against a pitcher, Michael Rishwain, who is pitching very well. 2 runners stranded for St. Mary's in the top of the 6th inning. Bottom of the 6th will bring up Josh Pig, Tyler Blake, and Kyle Zanzi. You're following the action here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv and YouTube.com/PlayOnNetwork, part of the Play On High School Sports Network. It might seem like it's a bit premature to talk about the 2012-2013 school year, folks, but in a little over 2 months, we'll be back on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv with football action from around the section. Starting in late August, we get back to our coverage on the gridiron with multiple games weekly. Join us this fall as we kick off the football season right here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, your home for Sac-Joaquin Section Sports. And folks, if you want to have your games broadcast live on the internet, be able to watch them again and again on demand and make money for your sports program, or you want to give your students the opportunity to create their own broadcast for your school's athletic events, then you want to contact us at info@kbcsports.com. We offer season packages for schools, a full curriculum for your students, either as a class or an after-school program, or an opportunity And I should say an opportunity to raise up to $10,000 for your sports program. Again, that's info, info at kbcsports.com, or call us at 619-677-3246. Rishwain has so far gone an inning and a third. He has retired all 4 hitters he has faced, 2 on strikeouts, 2 on groundouts. He is facing Josh Pig, who is grounded into a double play and grounded out to second base. Pig 0 for 4 in the series with a couple of walks and a run scored. Here's Rishwain's first pitch. This is a one-hopper to the second baseman, fair done, and a quick play over to first base. A little bit of a high throw, but Owens comes down on the bag, and there is one away on one pitch. Boy, Rishwain has come in and really settled things down. Not that Sam Feld was all over the place. He's a pitcher of record right now, is Feld, but Feld had yielded 4 walks, a hit batter, and allowed 2 hits, and was really having trouble staying in the strike zone. Rishwain has had no such issue. Strike on the outside corner to Tyler Blake, who is 0 for 1 with a walk, a run scored, the only run in the game for Franklin, and a strikeout. And Blake quickly finds himself in an 0-2 hole. The pitch to Blake. He swings at a ball in the dirt. And Weber will throw down to first base to retire him. And there's 2 down.
The batter, number 44, Kyle Zanzi.
Just like that. Boy, Franklin going to be very good next year, returning all these juniors, Blake being one. Now Kyle Zanzi, the batter. Zanzi swings and misses at strike 1. Zanzi also a junior. The pitch, Rishwain leaves it high, 1-1. Nobody on, 2 outs. Swing and a miss right there for Zanzi, and it's 1-2. 8 runs, 8 hits, no errors for St. Mary's. A run, 2 hits, 4 errors for Franklin. This one, swing and a miss, strike 3. Rishwain has set down 7 in a row. We move to the bottom of, the top of the 7th inning. St. Mary's leading it 8-1. Rishwain, 4 strikeouts in 2 1/3 innings. KBCSports.com and the Play On Sports Network showcase great high school games every week, and now you can access our content using multiple platforms. Follow us on Facebook, get the latest KBC and Play On news on Twitter, or catch our highlights in high definition on YouTube. All of our content can now link to your favorite social media site. Share all the high school action you see every week. Brought to you by your home for high school sports, KBCSports.com and Play On Sports. Connor Adams out for another inning. He will be facing C.J. Owens, Spencer Fairdunt, and Kyle Cortopassi. In the top of the 7th inning, St. Mary's looking to put the finishing touches on what is right now an 8-1 lead. This could be their last at-bat of the 2011-2012 high school season. All the other divisions of baseball completed their games last week in the Sac-Joaquin sections. North Coast section action taking place on CIFnorthcoast.tv and the youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork page on YouTube, our channel there. Invite you to check out those games. 4 games today from the Oakland Coliseum. They're in the middle of Division III. They'll have also games at 4 and 7 if you want to get your fill of baseball in the North Coast section as well. Owens, the batter, he's walked twice and struck out in the game. And facing Adams here in the top of the 7th. Curveball, outside corner, strike 1. Fairdunt in the on-deck circle, then Cortopassi. Breaking ball, that's well outside. 1-1. This one's in the air to center field. Waters is going to come in. Fading out on it is Von Ruden, and Von Ruden will make the play. On the outfield grass, there's 1 down. And the batter is Fairdunt. Fairdunt 0 for 3. Grounded to the pitcher, grounded to first, grounded to short. 0 for 6, but reached on an error yesterday and had that pivotal run, getting to second base on the error, grounded to the shortstop that went through the legs of LaForte out into the outfield. The outfielder's a late break on the ball. Verdun got to second with a great hustle play, got to third, scored the winning run. This one's going to be bounced foul after a 1-0 pitch. The count is even at 1-1. One out in the top of the seventh. This pitch is fouled away, left side. And the count is 1-2. Adams delivers. Curveball right back to Adams on a hop. He'll throw easily over to Blake for the second out of the inning. And Kyle Cortopassi is the batter. Cortopassi doubled in his last at-bat. He scored 3 runs in the game. He's been on base 3 times. 1 for 2, just 2 official at-bats. He's been hit by a pitch, and he's walked as well. Cortopassi stands in for what could be his last at-bat as a senior, and he takes strike 1. Pitch from Adams, curveball, outside corner, strike 2. That pitch is above the head. Actually, this is, excuse me, folks, Taylor Johnson hitting the junior. So Cortopassi already done. Here is a pitch right back up the middle. LaForte ranges to his left, can't make the play, and an infield single for Johnson. So I was waxing nostalgically for the Cortopassi era and talking about what a great year he's had, and he certainly has. And then Johnson comes in and gets an infield single. And now the batter is going to be Nathaniel Thompson, who will bat for Charlie Gaff. So Johnson's on at first base with 2 outs. Thompson is going to look at strike 1. Just to give you the numbers on Johnson and Thompson. We'll get those for you in just a moment after this pitch. This one's fouled away quickly, 0-2. Thompson batting .333 this year as a triple. No runs batted in. Johnson, .292. 3 RBIs, no extra base hits. Count is no balls and 2 strikes on Thompson. The 0-2, bounce to the right side. Von Ruden on a couple of hops, has a playable ball, and gets it over to Blake. 3 outs. So a runner is stranded by St. Mary's, but the Rams with a comfortable 8-1 lead, and it is going to take a big-time comeback by Franklin in the bottom of the 7th inning, their last at-bat, to get this one done. Franklin is going to be bringing up Von Ruden, Adams, and Fry. Those are your scheduled hitters here in the bottom of the 7th inning to face Rishwain. St. Mary's 3 away from back-to-back-to-back titles here in Division I. Can they get it done? We'll find out here in the next few moments right here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. And you can catch the best of Sac-Joaquin section baseball on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. Watch a replay of the game today or last night's game. We'll have that available today at least. Today's game up at about 15 to 20 minutes after the game concludes. Also, last night's game already available for you to watch. You can check out game highlights, watch the game in full, order a DVD or Blu-ray disc of the game by clicking on the link below in the description section below your media window. We're your home for baseball in the CIF Sac-Joaquin section, CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, and stay tuned for the CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv postgame show where we will select our player of the game as well as wrap up all the action from this ball game. That's coming up following the game on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. St. Mary's attempting to become just the second large school in section history to three-peat. Who's the first? Elk Grove High School in 2005 through 07. Rishwain to face Von Ruden, Adams, and Fry. Von Ruden, 0 for 1, has been hit by a pitch. Popped to first. Did have a hit yesterday. Franklin needs a lot of base runners, and Rishwain has been around the plate, so we'll see if Franklin's going to take until they get a strike or what the situation's going to be. Nope, they're going to be swinging first pitch, and it's 0-1. Rishwain trying to close this one out. Von Ruden takes an extra moment or two, steps back in. Rishwain goes right to work. This one's fouled away into the net, or actually, excuse me, over the net, into the crowd. 0-2. So important for Franklin to get the leadoff hitter aboard here to give themselves a chance. The 0-2 pitch. Rishwain's not going to let him. Strike three swinging. Boy, Michael Rishwain has been lights out. That is his third strikeout in a row, and he's got 5 in 2 2/3. The batter is Connor Adams. I say that as a question mark. Actually, Adams is not hitting. It's David Berry. So Berry, the senior, is going to get an at-bat here. Takes ball 1, fouls off the next pitch, 1-1. Berry this year, batting .133, his senior year for Franklin. Takes strike 2 on a pitch that's clocked at 88. Rishwain winds and delivers. This one's bounced towards first. Owens on a hop. The easy play. And there are 2 outs. St. Mary's is 1 away from a three-peat. Nick Fry was scheduled to hit, but it's going to be Andrew McBride who's going to get an at-bat in his senior year. As Coach Kilby trying to let his seniors get some opportunities in this their final game. Rishwain misses away, 1-0. 8-1 St. Mary's. The 1-0, outside corner. Rishwain, and excuse me, check swing. This is going to be a tough play. Hustling and unable to get there. Barry's going to dive into first base, McBride, with an infield single. So there is still some life left. A check swing grounder that the shortstop, Cortopassi, couldn't get to in time, and neither could Wagner. And McBride is on at first. And now batting, Daniel Chavez is going to bat in the 9 spot in the order. Simmons had the at-bat for Waters last time in this slot. And now it is Daniel Chavez, a junior. Runner at first, 2 outs. Strike outside corner. That's the first hit that Rishwain has yielded. He retired 9 in a row before that infield single. Just the 3rd hit of the game for Franklin, matching their total from last night. This ball's low and in. 1-1. Just 6 hits and 3 runs given up by St. Mary's in almost 14 innings here. Right now, 13 2/3. This one is a shot. Cortopassi can't get to it. It's into the gap. Heading to third base, McBride. He's going to get waved around. Chavez is going to hold at second base with a double. It is 8-2. Well, there is still some life left for Franklin. It might be too little too late here, but they are not going down without a fight. Cortopassi almost made a great play on that on the double, but couldn't quite climb the ladder enough. McBride comes around to score. LaForte the batter in an 8-2 ball game with 2 outs. A lot has to happen still for Franklin, but they're staying pesky about it. Here's the pitch. It's going to get away from the catcher. Weber down to third base. Goes Chavez. And that was a ball, 1-0. 1-0. Bounced foul. 1-1. On deck, Ryan Sargentson. Lafort in the game, 1 for 3. Remember, he spent that time in the emergency room at 4 a.m. this morning with abdominal pain. Turned out to be a muscle strain. He's playing today. Done a nice job. This one's going to be fouled at the plate as well. And now Franklin down to their final strike. St. Mary's crowd encouraging their pitcher, Michael Rishwain. Franklin crowd praying for a miracle. The 1-2, fouled away. Lafort just gets a piece of it. Time on the field as a ball that was fouled off comes back into play. Runner at third is Chavez, 8-2 the score. Bottom of the 7th, the 1-2. Popped in the air, this should do it. Cortopassi says, it's mine. Now he's fading on it, and he can't make the catch, but Gaff comes in from center field and does. Congratulations to the St. Mary's Rams, a three-peat. They win it 8-2 against Franklin to take the series 2-0. Credit to St. Mary's, their coaching staff, head coach Peter Pyle, and their players. They have done it. This senior class has reached this championship game 4 times, and they've won the last 3. Your final score, St. Mary's 8, Franklin 2, CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv postgame show coming up in just a moment, folks. Please stay with us. We'll be back with more from Klein Family Field in Stockton, California in just a moment.
4th and 10 from the 41-yard line for St. Augustine. Kennedy dropping back to pass. Looking left, firing, incomplete, intended for Noland. No penalty flags on the field. Mar Vista will take over on downs, and Jordan Lertique will take that knee. And the Mar Vista Mariners knock off the number 2 seeded St. Augustine Saints at Mesa College in a dominating performance on both sides of the football for Mar Vista. They trailed 14-0 and came back.
Again, down 2-0, facing adversity, and they've really just turned the table around since game number 3. Set an attack, great block made back inside the Maverick zone. A chance there by Bosback back inside the Maverick zone. Ball attacked there by Bosback, a second opportunity by Bosback.
Back here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, Jeff Kurtz joining you for our final game of the 2011-2012 high school sports season. At least on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. We got more games going on, folks, around the state of California. The track and field championships finishing up today at the state level. San Diego section's got some baseball games going on. We've got North Coast section baseball for you on the Play on High School Sports Network. YouTube.com/Play on Network for those games, or CIFNorthCoast.tv. But here, St. Mary's at Klein Family Field in Stockton, California at the University of the Pacific campus. They have done it for the 3rd year in a row in Division I, a three-peat. 2nd time in large school history in Division I for baseball. Elk Grove doing it back in 05 through 07. Now it is St. Mary's turn as they have three-peated. In Division I, they win it 4-2 in Game 1, 8-2 today. Our CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv player of the game, Gio Brusa. 4 runs driven in the game, including a triple that broke the game open in the 5th inning, drove in 2 to make it a 5-1 ball game. He had 2 hits and 3 at-bats, reached base 3 times, once on an error, drove in 4, scored a couple of runs. Gio Brusa, our CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv player of the game. So much to reflect on here, folks, as the awards ceremony taking place out on the field. Hard to believe, like I was saying, that we have gone through another year of high school athletics. It goes by so quickly. And for a lot of these seniors, 5 from Franklin, a lot to remember from this year. What with the fact that they were on the brink of elimination 3 different times prior to this and made it here for the first time in school history to face a St. Mary's team that was very good. Credit to the seniors on this St. Mary's squad for doing what many people thought could not be done, which is make it 4 years in a row and win 3 of them. But St. Mary's has now been here 5 of the last 6 years. They've got 3 championships under their belt. Head coach Peter Pyle and his staff, credit to them as well. They've been the constant throughout these years for the St. Mary's Rams, and they played an outstanding ball game today. They got the hitting they needed. They got the pitching from Michael Rishwain and Sam Held. Held gets the win. Rishwain the save. The loss goes to Josh Pigg. Folks, there are so many people here to thank at the Play On High School Sports Network to wrap up this year of broadcast coverage. Too many to name, but representing all the folks who make high school games possible online on the Play On High School Sports Network from around the country, I'd like to thank Timothy King, our cameraman, for all the work he's done today. I'm Jeff Kurtz. Thank you for joining us. We're going to keep the video rolling and let you watch some more of this ceremony as St. Mary's is going to be getting their trophy after Franklin is done here. Head coach Brian Kilby in his first year gets the runner-up plaque. Assistant coach Mike Cody, who built this program 9 years before this year, an assistant now on the staff. Brian getting to coach with his brother Brad, who was the pitching coach for this team. Congratulations to Franklin. And now on to St. Mary's. And some of the seniors, including the co-captains, Gio Bruce and Eric Weber, come up to get the pennant that's going to hang at St. Mary's High School. Another award for St. Mary's. This has been a much storied program athletically in the Sac-Joaquin section. And as St. Mary's accepts their awards, folks, we'll keep it right here for just a little bit longer. We'll have more coverage coming your way from the Sac-Joaquin section here on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv in the fall. Football coverage. We're going to have expanded playoff and championship coverage in a variety of sports. This year we covered the baseball finals in divisions 1, 2, 3, and 7. We're going to expand that to 4, 5, and 6 next year. For the baseball fans, football will continue to get coverage in all divisions. Girls volleyball, basketball, boys and girls. Our plans are to get up to softball next year. Boys volleyball as we did this year, soccer, lacrosse. There's going to be a lot of coverage coming your way next year on CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv. All the Sac-Joaquin section action that you can handle, we'll have that for you next year. Also on youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Michael Rishwain getting an extended ovation from the St. Mary's fans. Pitched an outstanding ball game wrapping up today. As St. Mary's, J.J. Wagner, a senior, getting his award. Catcher, Eric Weber. And then Peter Pyle and his staff. They're all getting their awards as well. Well, folks, that's going to do it here from Klein Family Field at the University of the Pacific. St. Mary's wins it 2-0 over Franklin for their 3rd championship in a row, 4-2 in Game 1, 8-2 in Game 2. For Timothy King, I'm Jeff Kurtz saying so long until next season, folks, on your home for high school sports in the Sac-Joaquin section, CIF Sac-Joaquin.tv, part of the Play On High School Sports Network. Have a great summer, everybody.